international admissions of OP Jindal Global University, and the respected professors, head coordinators of all the renowned universities: Shuluni University, Flame University, Palaksha, Bharat University, Shiv Nadar University, Manipal University, Mahindra University, BML Munjal University, BITS Pilani, Atria University, Symbiosis International University. Respected Chancellor of IES University, Engineer B.S. Yadav Sir, Pro-Chancellor IES University, Dr. Sunita Singh Ma'am, CEO, IES University, Shri Devan Singh Sir, Professor Manisha Kotekar Ma'am, Director, IES Public School, Bhopal and Sihor faculties, parents and students who are here with us today for this webinar. I, Shriya Varya, welcome you all to this special evening splendor on behalf of the IES Public School. We all are gathered here with OP Jindal Global University to present the Mega University Fair for providing better career opportunities for the IASians. Before commencing with today's webinar, I would like to give a brief profile of our school. IES Public School is CBSE affiliated and awarded as the most promising school of MP by the prestigious magazine Digital Learning. It is situated in the state certified green campus with the state of art and sports infrastructure. With a vision to impart education to every child, our teaching is based on the principle that every child is unique and gifted with exceptional abilities, thereby allowing them the freedom to discover their inherent potentials. Our Honorable School Director, Professor Manisha Kotekar Ma'am, is with us. Ma'am is among founder members of the school and has couple of years research experience followed by teaching experience of 2.5 decades. She believes that every child has the potential to excel and is, if provided with sufficient opportunities combined with the right mentoring. I request you, ma'am, to please deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Shreya. A very, very warm welcome to everybody who is present here today, to Mr. Ankur Vora, to our Chancellor, Honorable Chancellor, Engineer B.S. Yadav sir, to our Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Sunita Singh ma'am, our young CEO, Devan Singh sir, and of course, all the eminent educationists from Shulini University, Flame University, Palaksha, Bennett, Shivnadar, Symbiosis, Atria, and BML Munjal, BITS Pilani, Mahindra, and of course, Manipal. So very warm welcome to all of you on this first virtual career fair at our school. Roy Bennett has said that if we turn our obstacles into opportunity, then our problems turn into possibilities. So this very lockdown and the closing of schools, and even though the schools are online, but physically the children aren't coming here. So this virtual career fair is really a wonderful opportunity for all the children and the parents to get to know all these universities from the safety and comfort of their homes. So thank you very much to everybody who is present here, especially all the students and parents. And students, I think this is a wonderful opportunity for you because you need to go into a university well informed, well aware of your own skills, of what is expected from you at the university and what they can offer you. So I request all of you to be ready with your questions, to listen attentively, and a special thanks to the parents who have joined in, and all of you can pitch in with your questions. So thank you so much again, everybody, for attending, and over to you, Shreya.
Thank you, ma'am, for addressing our guest. It's an honor for us to present the profile of our today's moderator. Mr. Ankur Vora, sir, is an experienced senior international education and career guidance professional. He is currently working as head outreach at international admissions with OP Jindal Global University, Delhi NCR, India. He has worked and traveled over 35 countries around the globe and has got rich and niche experience in how people and networks work across different nationalities. And what are the key ingredients that go into the making of good career choice for young adults? Public speaker, writer, and a profile reader. Sir has conducted life and career guidance workshops across 300 plus schools in over 35 countries. Mr. Vohra was instrumental in setting up international outreach vertical at Ashoka University, Delhi NCR, India, and opening doors for higher education for numerous high achieving but low income students from Africa and South Asia. He was also chair for scholarships and co-chair for faculty and curriculum design for International ACAC South Asia Regional Institute 2018. Sir also serves as the key member of the diversity community of International ACAC USA. Welcome to IS, sir. I request you to please begin with today's session.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you so much, Miss Manisha, for welcoming all of us. I must say that I think I am really excited, as I said in my initial remarks, to be presenting for IES Public School today. I express our gratitude on behalf of all the 12 universities that will present today. My colleagues from all those 12 institutions are in deep gratitude to you. Before I start, I just want to also congratulate the Chancellor, Sir, Engineer P.S. Yadavji, who reached out to me on LinkedIn. I really loved his approach. I don't really get approached by chancellors on LinkedIn, but he was so active for his students that he reached out to me and he said we should do this for our students. So I really want to congratulate you guys to be working under the leadership and guidance of such a man who thinks about you all the time. So my sincere gratitude to, as I said, Professor Manisha Kwatkar, Chancellor Sir Engineer B.S. Yadav ji, Pro Chancellor Dr. Sunita Singh ji, and Professor Rinki Soni, the Vice Principal. All of you and the team at IES Public School, thank you so much for having us today with you. We are excited. We have been allocated 2 hours. We have already spent about 15 minutes in the welcome message. So we will do what we will do is we'll have exclusive 5 to 7 minute presentations for each of the universities. We have already shared the flow chart. We'll start with my university, OP Jindal Global University. My colleague Vishal will present for about 5 to 7 minutes, and we'll have continuous presentations from all of the 12 universities presenting today. Students, please make sure that you are asking questions through chat box and the Q&A section. We really want you guys to make the most out of it. So please use chat section, and all of us are available in the chat section. Any question regarding career guidance, anything that you want to ask apart from our courses, admission criteria, we will be happy to do that for you. We also have an allocated 15 to 20 minutes at the last for the Q&A, and we will encourage you to speak up. Use the raise hand option in the Zoom portal that you're using, and we will unmute you and you can ask your question live also. So there are two ways, either through chat or through live, whichever way works for you. Please go ahead and use that, but please ensure that you make use of these next 90 to 100 minutes that we are going to spend with you guys. So parents, also happy to have you here. Thank you so much for taking time out. As Principal Madam said, you know, this is a new way that we are coping up with the pandemic. Right from the comfort of your homes, you are getting to interact with some leading top universities which attract students from all over India. And for us to come and talk directly to you, it says kudos to the school and the management that have arranged this session for you. Thank you so much. May I now invite our first speaker, Mr. Vishal Acharya from OP Jindal Global University, please.
Hello, sir. I'll just share my screen. Give me a minute.
Yeah, Vishal, go ahead.
Yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Manisha ma'am, and thank you, IES Public School Management for allowing us or for giving us this opportunity to present in front of you. My name is Vishal, and I represent the #1 private university in India, that is OP Jindal Global University. So students, I would be first talking about the seven major components, what has made us number one private university in India. So the seven components would be first faculty, infrastructure and facilities, alumni outcomes, ranking and accreditations, student life at OP Jindal, internationalization, and interdisciplinary. Now, speaking about ranking and accreditations, yes, as I told you before, we have been ranked number one private university in India by QS World University Ranking. We have been also ranked as number one university in social science and arts and humanities. We have been chosen as institution of eminence by Government of India. Now, please understand, Government of India only chooses only 20 universities, 10 private and 10 public universities, who can compete with World 500. So they are only chosen as institution of eminence, which we have got. So we have also been ranked first and second in 2017 and 18 in Swachhata ranking. Now, students, these are the programs available in OP Jindal. You can choose a program in, let's say, law. You can choose program in business school, international affairs, government and public policy. We have courses in liberal arts and humanities. Student interested in journalism. So journalism communication is there. Art and architecture, banking and finance, environmental and sustainability. And the most important, we have started with the new school, psychology and counseling. So student interested in psychology courses can opt for this school. Now, speaking about internationalization, our faculty at OP Jindal, we have 7:1 ratio. That means for every 7 student, we have 1 faculty. And for rest of the school, the ratio is far much better. Now, all our faculty are having rich corporate experience and they are from the top universities across the globe. So you can name any university like Harvard or Stanford or Oxford. We have full-time faculty from them who are staying on campus with us and teaching students. Now, we also have student mobility program. We have short-term study abroad program. We have semester exchange program and dual degree program. For these, we have 250 plus collaborations across the globe and 40% of our partners, that means the universities, are ranked in world top 500. So these are the universities which we are associated with. Now, speaking about interdisciplinarity, over 200 elective subjects offered each semester, including approximate 100 cross electives. Now, student cross electives means it gives a privilege for you to choose an elective from another school. That means if you are an architecture student, you can choose a course from, let's say, public policy. Or if you are a global affairs student, you may take up a course from law school. So this is the flexibility which has been offered in OP Jindal. Now, speaking about the student life in OP Jindal, we have 2 amazing festivals. One is Sports Magnus and second is Biswamil, the Cultural Fest happening on campus. We have 28 clubs and societies which are led completely by the student committee. Now, most important, especially for the parents, we have a separate team of students who get in touch with the freshers, make sure they involve them in each and every activities happening on campus so they don't feel left out or new in the campus. Now, we have some top new names like Nasruddin Shah, Banerjee, and PT Cat Company who are coming on campus and performing at OP Jindal. Now, students who are interested in sport, we have a huge sports complex inside the campus. So we have 2 football ground, cricket ground, Olympic size swimming pool, basketball court, volleyball court, and everything. Now, these sports or these particular sports have their own coaches. You have to just get in touch with them and they would guide you ahead. Now, the most important, the facilities available in OP Jindal. So we have 24/7 healthcare service on campus. So we have a medical team available. Student at any given point of time, you need our help. Our team is always there. We have laundry services, student common room, health and fitness club, library, and the most important, hostel. So we have 2 separate hostels, girls and boys are separate. And the security team, which is assigned for the hostels, are staying inside the campus. So in case any student require any help, they are always there to help you. Now, speaking about the dining services, so we have one OP Jindal dining services and we have one food court. So our food court has some top brands like KFC or maybe Domino's, KV Enders. So you won't miss your, you can say, city food.
Vishal, you're there? I think we lost you.
Yes, we can't get the audio.
Yeah, so probably I think Vishal has some network issues. Vishal, and his screen is stuck. Okay, so meanwhile, this Vishal comes in. I will like to invite our next speaker. Can we have Neeraj from Shivnadar University, please, to present?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ankur. I'll just share my
Yeah.
screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. And thank you for the school for giving us the opportunity to speak to your students. My name is Neeraj. I'm a part of admissions and outreach. Just to give you a brief about the Shivnath University, we started in 2011, a UGC approved private state university. And where do we come from basically? The Shivnadar Foundation, we are a part of Shivnadar Foundation. Shivnadar Foundation consists of Vidya Gyan School, which is basically for the underprivileged student whose household income is less than 1 lakh rupees. And there are two schools. One of them is in Bulandshahr, another one is in Sitapur, Lucknow. It is free education from grade 6 onwards, and courtesy Mr. Nadar, students are studying in Harvard right now. That's the reason it is very close to my heart. Second is the Shiv Nadar School. We have three schools: Noida, Gurgaon, and Faridabad. SSN, which is the topmost engineering college based out of Chennai and affiliated to Anna University. Shiv Nadar University, for which I'm representing, and Kiran Nadar Museum of Art, which is basically the promotion of modern Indian art. So we call ourselves a comprehensive, multidisciplinary, research-focused and student-centric university. Why is it so? Because comprehensive means we have masters, postgraduate, undergraduate, PhD, all under the same roof. So that is called comprehensive. Multidisciplinary, which is pretty common and uncommon nowadays, which is called a major plus minor combination. Research focus, because all the programs which we are offering, either a BA research or a BSc research. Fourth is the student centric, because if you talk about any like transport committee, food committee, any important decision which is supposed to be made, it is being done by the student. That's the reason it is called a student centric. We are offering 5 schools, which is School of Engineering, School of Humanities, School of Management, School of Natural Sciences, and School of Extended Education and Professional Development. We are offering 40 plus programs with 6 research centers, more than 2,200 students, more than 200 faculty members, which is approximately 1:10 ratio. It's a green lush campus of 286-acre campus. So 155 laboratories and studios, 24 departments, and 55 student clubs and societies. So coming to the next, where are faculty is coming from? So it's a global intellectual faculty pool. We have it from the top-notch universities like Berkeley, NUS, University of Chicago, Texas, University of Michigan. Apart from that, we have faculty from the top IITs and IIMs. In fact, our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rupa Manji Ghosh, is from JNU. These are some of the accolades which we have got. We have been ranked 52 under the university category NIRF ranking 2019, aggregated with A grade in NAC. We are proud that we have been chosen as the institution of eminence by Government of India. There are only 20 institutions, 10 public and 10 private have been selected. We have received the Atal Incubation Grant of 8.8 crores. We have ranked 7th in the Institutional Swachh Ranking 2018 award and received the best UGC inspection report in the country. These are some of the resources and facilities which we have. We have recently started with the horse stable. We have our own mini golf course, chess garden, world-class library, health and wellness center, couple of tuck shops, swimming pool which is about to start by next year, and 3 different dining halls which are closer to the boy hostel and the girls hostel. So this is the first picture is indoor sports complex, which in itself has a 200-meter of jogging track. Student Activity Center is a part of indoor sports complex where yoga and meditation and students also come and relax after their classes. Housing facility for the faculty and as I told you, different hostel for boys, different for girls. We have our own Nest Cafe, daily shuttle services, our own HDFC Bank branch and the Punjab National Bank ATM, a mini mart, laundry and salon. We have more than 50 plus student clubs and societies. In case you feel that any club or society which is missing, you can start your own club and society. Just to give you an example, because it's a huge campus of 286 acres, one student brought a bicycle and he started his own cycling club. Now we have more than 200 bicycles within the campus. So anything which you feel that they're missing, feel free to start it. So admission process, we have shifted our admission process to the digital sport space, and we have also launched our own remote proctoring SNU SAT and APT, which is Shiv Nada University Scholastic Aptitude Test, and APT is Academic Proficiency Test. We are taking help from our test partner, which is Pearson View. Coming quickly to the admission process, School of Engineering, which is offering chemical, civil, computer science, electrical, electronic and communication, and mechanical engineering. 4 ways you can get admitted. First is the JEE main. If you're scoring more than 80 percentile, you're eligible for a direct offer of admission, provided you meet the cutoff of that department. Second is the College Board SAT plus interview. Third is SNU SAT plus APT, our own internal test. Fourth is ACT plus interview. The benchmark is you need to have more than equal to 70% PCM in your grade 12 to get a confirm offer letter. Second is School of Natural Sciences, which offer BSc Research in Physics, Chemistry, Maths, and Biotechnology. 4 ways you can get admitted. First is JEE main. If you're scoring more than 80 percentile, it would be followed by interview. Second is the SNU SAT and APT. In case you're scoring less than 80 percentile, you can apply through that. It would be followed by interview. Third is the College Board SAT plus interview, and fourth is the ACT plus interview. You need to have more than equal to 70% aggregate in your grade 12. That's the benchmark to get a confirm offer letter. Now the remaining two schools are School of Humanities and Social Sciences and School of Management. School of Humanities offer BA Research in English, History, Sociology, and International Relations, and the BSc Research program in Economics and Finance. Economics and Finance is a shared program between School of Management and School of Humanities. School of Management also offer Bachelor of Management Studies. 3 ways you can get admitted. One is SNU SAT plus APT followed by interview, SAT plus interview, and ACT plus interview. You need to have more than equal to 70% aggregate in your grade 12 to get a confirm offer letter. Just the last thing, the scholarship, we are also offering a scholarship which is basically broadly divided into 4 categories. First is the gifted student scholarship, where it is being given to the outstanding academic rank holders. Then you are eligible for a gifted student scholarship. Second is a merit cum mean scholarship, where if your household income is less than 8 lakh rupees and you're scoring more than 92%, you are eligible for a merit cum mean scholarship. Third is a sports scholarship, where if you are an state topper or similar to that, then in that case, you're eligible for a sports scholarship. And fourth is the rural scholarship, where 18 school, which is mentioned on the website, if somebody is falling into that school, they are eligible for a rural scholarship. That's all from my side, and I'll leave my contact details in the chat box. Feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Neeraj, for that wonderfully timed presentation. And Shiv Nada University definitely is a very good university that students can look into. May I now invite our colleague Vishal. Vishal, if you are back, you can finish your presentation.
Yes, sir. Just 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, so if you can just finish your presentation.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So my apologies to everyone due to internet issues. So I was at this slide. So speaking about the amenities and facilities at OP Jindal University, as I was talking, we have 24 hours healthcare service on campus. So any student require any help, our team is always there. We have laundry services, we have student common room, we have health and fitness club, library, and as I was talking about the food court, we have Jindal separate food court, and we have a different food court where we have some top brands like Domino's, KV Enders, Moti Mahal. So you won't miss your town food, as I was talking about. Now, I also spoke about the sports facilities which we have on campus. Now, what after JGU? So we have a team of career services which conducts workshop on CV writing, group discussions, and interview skills. Now, after conducting these workshops with students, then we send students for the internship. And when students come back from the internship, then we again conduct these workshop with a grooming session and send students for the final interview, placement that is. So why we do these things? Because our career service teams make sure get in touch with the corporates and understand what exactly corporates are looking in the students apart from the academics. And therefore we conduct this workshop based on that study. Now, speaking about the admission process at OP Jindal, for 5 years, BA LLB, BBA LLB, that is undergraduate law courses, we accept LSAT India score only. For BArch, we accept NATA. For rest, all other program, we have a very holistic admission process. So student, we accept SAT, we accept ACT, and understanding the given pandemic situation, student cannot go to the centers for the examination. You can also apply to OP Jindal by JSAT. Now, JSAT is a AI home-based proctor exam. It's General Scholastic Aptitude Test. Right from your home, you can apply for the any course. You can complete the full admission process with a simple configuration on your laptop and get the admission letter. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can complete all the process right from your home. So this is the process of Jindal. I will write down my contact details in the chat and would love to, would surely want to take some questions in the last if it's in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishal, for that presentation. Students, Vishal and Shivnadra University, Neeraj are available in the chat section. You can raise your questions to them regarding law, engineering, and other programs, liberal arts in the chat section. I encourage you to do that. May I now invite our next speaker from Symbiosis School for Liberal Arts. Aina, are you there?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
All right, I'll just share my screen. Yeah, is the presentation visible?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, good evening, everybody. My name is Aina Asif, and I am a third-year student from Symbiosis School for Liberal Arts. And I'll be taking you through the presentation, which will have the program structure as well as our admission process. So, Symbiosis School for Liberal Arts is a constituent college under Symbiosis International University, and SSLA was founded in 2011 and is the oldest liberal arts program in the country. So coming to the question of why liberal arts. So traditionally, all of us know that Indian education system is more or less based on memorization, rote learning, question answer, like a very unidirectional flow of knowledge. But that is where liberal arts comes into the picture, because it really makes you look at disciplines and things that you're studying in an interdisciplinary manner, and taking everything that you're studying, all disciplines, all courses, and then coming out with one wide bag of knowledge after 4 years of SSLA and of liberal arts degree. It also is very, very research oriented and has a strong foundation for an uncertain future. And that is where the relevance of liberal arts programs comes into the picture, because even currently we're seeing how uncertain the world is. And in general, also nobody knows what the market will require after 10 years from an employee or from a graduate or from a student. And that way, liberal arts really helps you cover all bases, because you're studying things across disciplines as well as majoring in a specialization. So like I'm doing a psychology major with an anthropology and a peace and conflict minor. But at the same time, I'm also doing math courses, computer courses, literature courses, etc. So that really helps you cover all bases. Coming to the question of why liberal arts at SSLA, we focus on 3 components here. We have employability, critical thinking, and interactive learning. So under employability, we focus on both hard as well as soft skills. So like our clubs and cells and our student council is completely student initiated and student driven. So when students are put in situations like some conflict or some issue that they have to deal with the administration, or some issue that they have to voice for the student body, that is where leadership is something that comes to them naturally, and they really learn along the way. And in terms of Industry Connect, SSLA is based in Pune, which has a very, very strong academic community. And for core domain knowledge, most of our courses that we have, which I'll be talking about in like just a bit, most of them are globally relevant. And that is how it helps for students to going for semester exchange programs, summer exchange programs, or for pursuing their masters abroad, because that transition is not very difficult when it's like a globally relevant program that you're studying for your undergraduate. In terms of critical thinking, it has a very unique pedagogy, because it's mostly discussion and debate oriented, and it's not a unidirectional flow of learning. And our assessments are very, very creative, and we have performance poetry, we have essays, we have papers that we write, and these aren't like typical question answers that we write. We explore an idea fully in the clear sense, and then actually write what we feel like. In terms of interactive learning, we have co-constructed classrooms, which are designed both by the students as well as the faculty to cater to the needs of both. And it's not something that only the faculty decides. And in terms of field and experiential learning, we have our COP, which is the community outreach project, and our internship projects. And we have a smaller class ratio. So we have 1:20 ratio of teacher and student. So for a class of 20, we have 1 teacher. That again helps in making the classroom smaller and the discussions more discussion oriented and more deep. Now coming to the program structure, we have a 4-year full-time BA BSc Liberal Arts Honours degree program. The BA/BSc depends on your major or major specialization. So if you have a psychology or an anthropology or an IR major, then you get a BA in Liberal Arts. But if you have a computer science major or a mathematics and statistics major, then you get a BSc in Liberal Arts. And we have 8 semesters spread over 4 years, and students complete a minimum of 24 to 28 credits per semester. We have 4 types of courses: core courses, elective courses, major and minor specializations. I'll just come to the major minor in a bit. And the 4 major components of our 4 years here at SSLA are our research project, internship, community outreach project, and the seminar paper. And students graduate with a minimum of 198 credits and a minimum of 50 different courses. So we offer majors in 12 disciplines, and some of them include philosophy, English, IR, computer studies, mathematics, anthropology, political science, etc. And some of the minors, we offer minor in 20 specializations, and some of them are biology, physics, law, performing arts. And some minors like women and gender studies and peace and conflict studies are extremely exclusive to the curriculum here at SSLA and are not offered anywhere else in the country. In terms of internationalization, SSLA has a very, very good flow of semester exchange programs, semester abroad programs. The students really get to apply their knowledge that they study here in terms of different cultures and in terms of people that they meet in different lands. And that is something which really hones their skills in terms of people skills also and in terms of learning. And looking at life after SSLA, so some of the students are doing their masters or pursuing their further studies in some of the universities which are listed on the slide. It includes New York Film Academy, Berkeley, King's College, LSE, etc. Now coming to our admission process, we have 2 steps for it. We have the SET, which is the Symbiosis entrance test, and we have the PIVOT, which is the personal interaction written aptitude test. So your SET can be alternated with your scholastic aptitude test, which is the SAT scores. And the 4 components that we judge students on in our SET is the general English, quantitative reasoning, general knowledge, and analytical and logical reasoning. In quantitative reasoning, again, it's basic 9th and 10th level maths, like nothing rigorous that the students need to prepare for. And even in terms of general knowledge, it's not like static knowledge of monuments or names or cities, nothing like that. It's more like contemporary knowledge of things happening around you and how updated you are. SET has no negative marking, and the cutoff is dependent on yearly performance. For PIVOT, we have a personal interaction, which is again like not at all stressful. I have been there 3 years ago, so I can vouch for this, that it's genuinely very conversation based, and the faculty just wants to know you merely like a little better than the application and the documents that you submit, and that's all the personal interaction is for. And in terms of the written aptitude test, they judge you on your creativity, vocabulary, and your ability to think outside the box. And again, the focus here isn't on your English language or the structure of your language that you're using. It's more on how creative you can get with that one piece of picture that you get for writing. In terms of eligibility, a detailed information and details of the eligibility are mentioned on our website as well, but we take admissions from all boards: CBSE, ICSE, IB, Diploma, GC, etc. So now I'll just take you through the admissions timeline very roughly, and these are tentative dates, of course, because these are subject to change, but the last like 2021 admissions, this is what we followed. 2020 admissions, I'm sorry, this is what we followed. So starting somewhere in the first week of January. Then we have the SET test happening either on the first or the second Saturday of May. And the personal interaction happens in the last week of May, and the merit list for the final students is out between the first and the third week of June. And the induction program happens somewhere in the second week of July, and the course positively commences by the third week of July. And that is when we expect students to come on campus if the situation allows. And with that, I come to the end of my presentation. In case of any further questions, clarifications, I am here till the end. And even if you want to approach us later, these are all our social media handles listed on the slide for you. And you can always visit our website or mail us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aina, for that wonderfully timed presentation. And all the information was provided. Students for Symbiosis, you can reach out in the chat section. And it's a fantastic school again for liberal arts. Do reach out to Aina in the chat section if you're interested in any of their programs. May I now invite our next speaker from Bennett University. Shahnaz, if you can start your presentation, please.
Thank you, Ankur. I'm gonna quickly share. I actually need to be made a host. I don't see that I'm a host. Vishal, can you help me out?
Vishal, can you do that?
Yes, just a minute. You are a co-host, Shahnaz.
It's saying advanced sharing options, who can share, only host. So I'm not able to share.
Just a minute. Give me 1 minute. Please try now.
Yes, thank you, Vishal. Thank you so much. I hope my screen is visible and you can hear me.
Yeah.
Great. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to share a little bit about Bennett University. My name is Shahnaz, and I'm a part of the admissions team here at Bennett University. I will quickly be running through the programs and the application process. And if you have any questions or queries, I will be available in the Q&A section. So to start off, at Bennett University, we do believe in a world-class education that is fueled by global academic partnerships. Bennett University is a part of the Times Group. As you all know, the Times Group has been a part of the media landscape in India for over 180 years. These are some of the brands that you all would have interacted on an everyday basis, from the Times of India newspaper to the Economic Times to publications like Femina, and also radio station Radio Mirchi is a part of the Times Group. So these are the programs that we offer for our undergraduate students, that are students who've just finished their 12th standard exams. We also offer 100% assistance in internships, projects, and placements for all of our students. And I will be going through each of these programs individually. So we're going to start with the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, under which we offer the BTech program. The BTech program is a 4-year program, and we are currently ranked second in the best emerging university for engineering in India. So under the BTech program, we offer BTech Biotechnology, BTech Computer Science Engineering. We do have 6 specializations for our Computer Science Engineering program, and you can pick from any one of the following, which is artificial intelligence, data science, blockchain, cybersecurity, gaming and virtual reality, or robotics and automation. We also offer BTech Electronics and Communication, Engineering Physics, and Mechanical Engineering. To be eligible to apply for the BTech program, you would need 60% in best of 3 in class 12. Physics and maths are compulsory subjects for BTech programs except for biotechnology. If you're interested in BTech Biotechnology, you would need physics and biology. The selection criteria is based on either your class 12th or your JEE or NEET for biotechnology. You can also send in your SAT scores if you have attended or applied for the SAT exams. The second program that we offer is a Bachelor of Computer Applications. This is a 3-year program as opposed to the 4-year BTech program. To be eligible to apply for the BCA program, you have to have 55% in class 12. The specializations that we offer under the BCA program are cloud computing and cybersecurity and data science. And again, the selection is based on either class 12th or your SAT or your JEE scores. So our School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, the faculty are all PhDs from acclaimed global institutions. It's a very research-driven, experiential and interdisciplinary learning program. We do have an in-house business incubation center where we encourage you to come up with innovative ideas, and we do provide seed money or funding for those particular ideas. You also have the opportunity to earn a major or a major with minor or a major with honors or major with specialization. We also have various opportunities for immersion programs with our global partners. And we do have a think tank, which is led by the Dean of the Computer Science Engineering program called Leading India AI for Artificial Intelligence. Moving on to the School of Management, under which we offer the BBA program, which is Bachelor of Business Administration. This is a 3-year program. To be eligible to apply for this particular program, you would need 60% in 4 specified subjects. English is a compulsory subject in class 12th, and you would have had to have mathematics in class 10th to be eligible for this. The specializations that we offer under the BBA program are entrepreneurship, finance, marketing, human resources, and advertising and PR. And the selection is based on either your class 12th or your SAT scores. We also have a BA Liberal Arts program. The unique thing about our Liberal Arts program is that we offer you 11 majors. These majors range from psychology, philosophy, all the way to finance or computer application. Most of the students who are not sure about what they would like to do after class 12th or where their interests lie, they can apply and be a part of the BA Liberal Arts program. The first year would be various foundation courses, elective courses, lots of subjects that you might be interested in. Once you have figured out where your interest lies or what you're passionate about, from the second year onwards, you declare your major, and then your core classes in that particular subject would be sought. So to be eligible for this program, you would have to have 45% in class 12th. English is a compulsory subject, and your selection is based on either your class 12th or SAT scores. And we also do conduct a personal interview, which is again a more of get to know you and your interests, as opposed to any particular subject that you would have to study for. So the School of Management faculty has very strong credentials from top business schools in the world. Curriculum is the curriculum is co-designed with Cornell University in the US. We have a very strong business and industry connect because of the Times Group network. Again, it's an experiential and interdisciplinary learning through live projects and industry internships. And as I mentioned, we have an in-house business incubation center, which helps you, supports you in setting up your startup. Moving on to the School of Law, we offer a 5-year integrated BBA LLB honors or a BA LLB honors program. This is a 5-year program that offers you a law degree. And if you're interested in either corporate law or mergers and acquisitions, BBA LLB would be the program for you. If you're more interested towards the humanities side of things, the BA LLB honors program would be a better fit. To be eligible for this particular program, you would have to have 60% in best of 4. English is a compulsory subject, and your selection is based on either your CLAT scores or your LSAT India scores or your class 12 scores. Our School of Law faculty has very strong credentials from top law schools in India and global institutions. We have a network of eminent jurists, public policy analysts, and academics of national and international repute. We also have various student-driven initiatives with the Student Bar Association, like Literary and Debating Committee, Moot Court Committee, Media and Public Relations. So a lot of opportunities for students to go ahead and be a part of initiatives that interest them. This is a multidisciplinary course delivered through association with Cornell University Law School, and we also have a strong industry interface through the Times Group network. This is the moot court that we have on campus, where our students go ahead and debate and practice for various moot court competitions. Moving on to the School of Media, we offer the journalism and mass communication program, both in English and Hindi. To be eligible for this particular program, you would have to have 40% in 4 subjects. English is a compulsory subject. Again, the selection criteria is based on either your SAT scores or your class 12 scores. We do conduct an online test for the English program, and for the Hindi program, there's a personal interview that is conducted with the faculty. This is the film studio that we have on campus for our students with various equipments that the children use to go ahead and produce news and other programs on campus. This is in collaboration with Radio Mirchi, the radio station that the students run on campus. Our School of Media has faculty with decades of experience in media across various print, TV, radio, internet, advertising, and PR. We have various visiting faculty members from Times Group Ventures. You have the opportunity to earn a major or a major with honors and specialization in areas like print journalism, television journalism, web, advertising, public relations, etc. These are some of the global academic partners.
Yeah, that's your time. Sorry.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly finish up and leave my information. If you have any questions or queries, I will be available in the Q&A section. Thank you, Ankur.
Thank you so much, Shehnaz, for that wonderful presentation. Students, any questions for Bennett University, go to the chat section. May I now invite our next speaker from Shulini University. If Shikha, you can come online and start your presentation, please. Shikha, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just give me a minute.
Now we can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ankur. Thank you, Shreya, Manisha ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to talk to dear students and parents. I'm Shikha Sood from Shulini University. Let me give a brief overview of Shulini University. We are research-based focused university. Our vision is to be top 200 global university by 2022. Just to give you a little context, no Indian university has been able to make it since 1857. And this is the dream of Dr. P.K. Khosla, our chancellor. Just as I've told you, we are very young, 11-year-old university with 4,000 students. We are multidisciplinary, 12 schools. And recently, QS ranking came out and we were ranked #1 in citation index. So let me just introduce you to our, founders of our university, Professor Dr. P.K. Khosla, our founder and chancellor of our university. He's even Commonwealth Fellow, University of Oxford. And, after his retirement, he had a dream to set a university. So our Professor Atul Khosla, our Vice Chancellor, he's an IITian, and even he had an exciting career with McKinsey. Shulini University is multidisciplinary, pioneer in science, biotechnology, bioengineering, food technology. We have a huge campus located in Kasauli Hills, which is in Himachal Pradesh. Yogananda is the most awarded library in Asia, and the best is this library was inaugurated by late Dr. Kalam. Dr. Kalam has only inaugurated 12 buildings. So this building is one of them. Our students, we have students from all 27 states and 15 countries across the globe. We have fully residential campus. Out of all these students, 50% students, they stay on campus. Being in hilly areas, we did not compromise with sport facilities. We have world-class indoor sports complex, which was inaugurated by Milkha Singh. Even we have Yuvraj Cricket Stadium, which was inaugurated by Yuvraj. Being research-focused university, we have come up with India's largest preclinical cancer research institute as well. As shared with you earlier, we are #1 in India in citation index. When the lockdown started, just 14 days, we went online, online, and now, all our classes, everything is going on online. NRF 2020 ranking makes us one of North India's top universities and best in Himachal Pradesh. In the Atal Innovation Ranking, we are ranked top 25 among all private industries. When it comes to patent filing, MIT files 1 patent every day. And in Shulini, we file 1 patent every 2 days. When it comes to placement, we follow Mission 130. That is, all the students, they get the placements, but 30% of our students, they get their dream jobs. At Shulini, we offer sizable global opportunities to our students. Amanpreet Kaur is doing PhD with us, and she has become the only young water fellow from the country and bagged 25 lakh rupees scholarship for her research work. At Shulini, Shulini is fully integrated AI-driven student edtech platform. We have We are also a Coursera on campus university. Courses worth 3 crore plus are offered to students. Now, why Shulini? Because we allow our students to dream big and dream bold. We are very flexible university, and then we provide environment that gears you towards problem solving. Our campus is totally green and inspiring, and we focus on we skills and me skills. Scholarship supports are given to the deserving students. We judge students on both aptitude as well as on attitude. So I would like students, all of you, to explore more about Shuli University, and I will leave my details in the chat also. Thank you, Ankur. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that presentation. May I now invite Ms. Neha from Flame University, please?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Neha Modi and I'm from the outreach team at Flame University. So Flame is a liberal arts university and we are situated in Pune. We have a beautiful campus which is spread over 60 to 65 acres. And Flame was basically started in 2007. We are the pioneers in liberal education, and we have been into liberal education for about 13 to 14 years now. And so today I'll be taking you through a short presentation on the course structure and the admission process at Flame. So moving forward to the specialization areas, we offer this 6 degrees and there are 22 major specializations that you can pick up from. Under the BA, we have economics, psychology, literature, international studies, environmental studies, journalism, public policy, and sociology. We're probably the only university offering majors in public policy. You could also do economics honors. Under the sciences, you can explore applied mathematics, or you could do a computer science honors program. Under the BBA, we have all business courses like finance, marketing, HR, operations, and so on. We have also added business analytics this year under the BBA as one of the major. Under the BBA communication, we have all media related courses like advertising, digital marketing, film and television, and communication studies. Apart from this, you could also take subjects like dance, music, theater, and design as your minor. So these courses are completely interconnected to each other, which are going to lead to 300 plus combinations. You can see here in the chart, we offer 300 combinations. So you could be someone interested in literature and also wanting to study psychology. You can do international studies with finance, or you can do marketing with music. So the choice is absolutely at your end. And I think that's the best part of the liberal education, that it allows you to explore all the courses beforehand and let you make a very informed decision about your specialization. Moving forward to the foundation courses, in the first year you have 8 core courses like academic writing, critical reasoning, public speaking, and so on. These are now purely skill-based courses and really mandatory because we believe that the skills are required to you for any of the specialization that you take up. Apart from this, you also have something called as universes of knowledge. We have 5 universes. I can show you the indicative list, which you can see here on the screen. So there are about 50 to 80 courses which are being divided into these 5 universes. So from each of the universes, you're required to pick up minimum 2 courses to explore. So this exploring thing will help you to decide again your specialization for the major and minor. And if you're someone interested in additional subject apart from major and minor, you can also take more courses into your open electives. Apart from that, moving forward to the Flame Scholars Program. So Flame basically offers you 3 years of an undergraduate program with an optional extended 4th year, which we call it as a Flame Scholars Program, in which you get a postgraduate diploma program degree. And this program is again primarily for those students who are looking for an extensive research or probably planning to study abroad, wherein the university in abroad have the requirement of 16 years of education. Moving forward to the experiential learning. So experiential learning is something wherein you do a lot of activities outside your classroom. So there are several activities that you do. One of the activity involves you to work with an NGO, which we call it as a developmental activity program. You work with an NGO in your first summer break. Then you work with an a company or the corporate firm to get the industry experience. Then we have something called as a Discover India program. It's basically it's a flagship program. Here you undertake a research, depending on a topic or a field or a place wherein you want to do an extensive research. So a group of students actually go on the field, talk to the people and take surveys and come back with a very interesting documentary. So it's a very interesting program, which is a semester long. Moving forward to the Global Connect, FLAME is currently collaborated with 12 to 13 universities abroad, which will give you an opportunity to do either a complete semester abroad or a summer abroad. You can see their names are listed on the screen here. Apart from this, I can take you through the admission process. So our admissions are open for this year for 2021 batch. We follow, it's a basically a two-step process. And the first step involves you to make an application online, in which we are going to look at your past academic record, your extracurricular activities, and the statement of purpose. The second step involves you to write the entrance exam, in which you have to give our own aptitude test, which we call it as FEAT. Then you have an online essay writing, and there is a one-way interview round as well. So this complete process is going to be held online. We also accept SAT and ACT scores. And apart from this, the selection process, when it comes to FLAME selection process, it is completely holistic. We are not going to judge our students on the basis of their grades or on a one particular parameter. Moving forward to the admission calendar, this is an admission calendar which has been updated on the website. As you can see here, our first admission round is already over. We have only 4 rounds left, starting from January to April. You can apply to any of the rounds. Coming to the fee structure, right now the fee structure is 8,60,000, which is including your tuition fees, lodging and boarding. We offer a merit and a need-based scholarship as well. At present, I think about 25 to 30% students at FLAME are with the scholarship. So if you have any questions related to the course structure, admission process, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neha. Students, any questions for Neha and FLAME University in the chat section? May I now invite our colleague from Mahindra University, please, to come online and do his presentation.
Yeah, just sharing my screen. The screen is visible?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ankur, and thank you, IUS School, to give the present from my university. I am from Mahindra University, and myself is Mahesh. I am from the part of admission outreach team. Mahindra University is basically India's first university to drive the digital transformation from higher education to powered by emerging technology. Mahindra Ecole Central College of Engineering is a subsum into the Mahindra University in 2020 to 21 by Telangana Government Regulation Act 2018. Mainly the Mahindra University, previously called the Mahindra Ecole Central Engineering College. We are starting in 2014 and we have a French collaboration for Ecole Central, now is called Central Super League. So previously we have only in engineering field, and this year we are entering in the Mahindra University. Now Mahindra Ecole Central come under in the Mahindra University. Mahindra University is basically a group of sponsors by Mahindra University is institute which energize, challenge and shape young minds, help to become the global thinkers and engaged leader. Our sponsor is Mahindra University, is subsidiary of Tech Mahindra and the flagship IT company of the Mahindra Group. And Mahindra University at present, we have offering a 7 engineering branches courses like computer science engineering, civil engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, artificial intelligence, electronics and computer engineering, computation and mathematics, and mechanical engineering. We have a intake only 66 per branch. So We have at present total this year to take a 420 student and 9 seats each in NRI seats. Mainly previous year we started a 3 new engineering branch is cutting edge interdisciplinary major to be offered like artificial intelligence is market required. That kind of engineering at present core elements of machines vision, NLP, bioinformatics, cyber security, robotics and system like electronics in computer engineering, the digital electronics, CS core algorithm, data science, embedded design, digital design, software engineering. And another is core branch aspect as per the market position. The computation and mathematics is the emerging branch in engineering sector. So in this branch we have offering computation mathematics core, modeling system, engineering data, interface machine learning and financial mathematics. This year we started the new program in Mahindra University. Is a 4-year UG program is in Ecole Central School of Engineering and Applied Sciences called Nanotechnology, Mechatronics, Biotechnology, and 2 years PG course like MTech and School of Management, 3 years of UG courses, BA Finance and Economics and BBA and BBA Data Analytics. Mainly Mahindra University focus on research based organization. We are doing a lot of research and you can find a website, our research program and our research activity. Faculty, we are take a faculty for a mainly in the higher degree in the their field like PhD holder and a lot of 90% faculty from out of India's PhD holder, their research, their paperwork, their journal is also published. Some higher studies destination from through Mahindra University is given like University of Colorado, Boulder, Georgia Tech, Columbia, Northern. This is the alumni you found our Mahindra University. Placement and collaboration, we have the 100% placement record from third, this year our third batch is pass out. Highest package is 45 lakh and average package is 7.5 lakh. Our key officers in Mahindra University is our Chancellor is Mr. Anand Mahindra, is a chairman of Mahindra Group and also our Chancellor. Dr. Yash sir is a Vice Chancellor of the school, our Mahindra University. Eligibility criteria is the JEE main score and SAT1 and SAT2 score and ACT score. You must be clear the JEE mains and then you eligible for admission. Yeah, SAT1, yeah, SAT2, you must be required of physics, chemistry and maths. Innovation and research hub at present in Mahindra have a lot of research going on. So we have a Center for Artificial Intelligence Lab, Center for Innovation Entrepreneurship Lab, Center for Research Optics and Phonetics, Center Executive Education, Center for Computational and Experimental Mechanics. We are also beyond the boundary TED Talks, like lot of overseas come to India and take the lecture TED Talks to with the student. And this is my number and my email ID. If you want to know further about Mahindra University, you can call me anytime. Thank you, Ankur.
Thank you so much. May I now invite Professor George from BML Munjal University, please, for his presentation.
Thank you very much, Ankur. I'd like to thank the school and respected principal, Ms. Manisha ma'am, for the opportunity. And would like to thank Oak Jindal University for creating this platform wherein multiple schools can talk about their universities. Multiple universities can talk about their schools, the other way around. I hope my voice and my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
So this is what BML Munjal University is all about. We are spread across a 50-acre campus, students from 26 states, 2,700 students, 15 plus international collaboration, 11 plus programs and 200 plus corporates who come into the campus for different interventions. We are part of the Hero Group founded by Dr. Brij Mohan Lal Munjalji. So we have the Hero Moto, Hero Electrical, Hero FinCorp, Hero Future, Rockman, and Hero MindMind, which are part of the founders. In the area of the education since 1964, that's about 7 decades. We are there in Ludhiana as a medical college, in College of Education again in Ludhiana, BCM School of Chains in Ludhiana, BML Munjal Green Meadows, Haridwar, Raman Munjal Vidya Mandir shares the boundary wall with the campus at Gurgaon. We are the part of the ISB as a founder members. Is the #1 B school in India. Our CSR initiative include Hamari Pari for Hero Motorcorp, Educate to Empower, that's a Hero FinCorp part, Parivartan for Rockman and Ramakant Munjal Foundation. They fund close to about 3 to 4 students every year, 100%. This is the Board of Governors, both from the Munjal family as well as internationally with Dr. Jerry George, who is the Dean of Singapore Management University, Ahmedabad University, IIT and Anna University are part of the governing board. The advisory board includes across the industry. So this is what we're looking at, nation building through human resource development, how to make high quality education affordable, how to accelerate research and development, and how to get more innovation and best practices among the higher education. The vision of the university is more about how we can make the students into ethical leaders, make them more skilled, and ensure that the practicality of the knowledge is maintained. In 2017, the then President Shri Pranab Mukherjee ji dedicated ourselves to the nation. This is the main areas I'm going to talk about. We've got about 17 plus collaboration internationally, including Imperial College London, Anand School of Economics. On the east side, we've got Singapore Management University. On the west with St. Mary's, Barclays, Carlston, Kent, Edgar, Warwick, and Aston. This is the main motto of the main pedagogy of the university. You know, how we can make it more experiential in the learning, with about 45% of curriculum based on experiential learning. So we look at how multidisciplinary learning, for example, if you're a BBA, you will learn psychology, sociology. Even if you are in BTech, you will learn psychology and sociology. And how the learning can be based on gamification. For example, if you're doing marketing strategy, there's going to be a Markstrat game, which was developed in Europe. And the facilitator or the professor will make small changes in the game as you move forward, so that you have to tweak your plans and strategy accordingly. Role play, case study is all live way of learning. But you understand what someone else did for a particular program in a case study, and you try to interpret that in your own way. Life skills we feel is very important, and not just about how much you know, it's about how you can portray what you know to the person sitting across the table. So presentation skill, social etiquettes, critical thinking, resolution, conflict, these are all part of the learning at BMU. Another way of imparting the experiential learning is by use of industry partnerships. So we have the Center of Excellence through Microsoft, KPMG, Siemens, Intel, Hero, and the Shell. Back to school is another way of ensuring that what they learn in the classroom is implemented among the business. So it could be a 2-day immersion or a 50-day immersion. If you're from a school of management, you'll have a 2-month internship. And if you're a BTech, you'll have a 6-month internship. The practice school is across industry, right from KPMG for finance, Hero FinCorp, Kia, Deloitte, Aditya Birla Group, Kotak, Adidas, ITC, Indian Oil, you name it, and the brands are there. 325 plus research conference papers, 45 plus books, and 17 plus patents signed by, are put forward by our faculty. The programs across BTech. So we have the neo specializations with data science, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, robotics. The traditional ones, mechanical, CS, and electronic computer engineering. BCom honors, which has a very, very strong digital transformation part in it. So when we map the digital transformation across the BCom and the BBA program, 65% of the course, which could be there in a digital transformation course, is a part of these two courses. If you want to do economics and more become a financial analyst, get into the finance area, get into a B school or a London School of Economics, when you want to become an economist, we have the BA Economics for the finance minors. And if you want to get into the management part of it, we have the BA Economics with management as minors. The BBA, the vanilla BBA, the regular ones. And then we also have the specialized ones in business analytics and digital marketing. Students come from the family background and want to get back to their family, have an option of choosing the family business. We also have the MBA program, not relevant for you people right now. Our faculty come across the learning from the world, right from Manchester to Queens, from India, from IMT, MDI, XLRI, and IRMA in Anand. This is the way the school has, the university has grown. 2013 was when Imperial College London became my academic mentor. 14, we started the program. 17, as I mentioned, that the president dedicated ourselves to the nation. 2019, in the NIRF ranking, we were 37th among all B schools in India, and we were the youngest entrant with the highest ranking. These are our awards and accolades. So we are ranked top 10 in the engineering colleges when it comes to placements. These are the kind of companies which come for placements. Campus life, name it, it is there. Indoor basketball, indoor badminton, kabaddi, cricket, basketball, tennis. These are the clubs which are there. The fees, the eligibility would be available on the website. We have scholarship which can run up to 100%. And there is a scholarship for, as I said, Hamari Pari, the Hero FinCorp, Hero Motorcorp, and the Haryana Domicile Scholarship. Thank you very much, Ankur. I hope I was on time.
Thank you, Professor George. Yes, thank you for that wonderfully timed presentation. Appreciate it. May I now invite our next speaker from Plaksha University, Sanat, if you can start your presentation, please.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Sanat's not here, so I'll take.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. I'll just quickly share my screen. Yeah. So, hi, I'm Sushovan from Plaksha University. I'm a graduate from Ashoka, and I'll work as a part of the admissions and outreach team at Plaksha. I'll just quickly walk you through some of the salient features at Plaksha, and then maybe you can engage with us further in a different forum. Plaksha University is an upcoming technology university. The campus is being built in Mohali, Chandigarh, and some of the founders at Ashoka are involved in building Plaksha, and the entire idea is replicating Ashoka's success in the sphere of liberal arts and sciences in the field of technology and research. The broad vision and every decision at Plaksha is based on these 4 pillars. All courses, all programs, the entire curriculum is interdisciplinary. So you see a lot of different things flowing into each other. And I'll take an example later and quickly show you that later. We have this idea of liberal arts, design, and entrepreneurship getting integrated into the curriculum. That essentially helps one and become a rounded individual. Obviously, you get the expertise of the technology, but what do you do with it if you don't really know how to contextualize in terms of the societal environment? The entire pedagogy again is hands-on. We believe in blended learning, and there's a strong focus on self and leadership, taking all the learning that you have and figuring out how to essentially go out there and make the best use of it. The story so far largely has been very monumental. The conceptualization stage was in 2015, and over the period of time, as you will see during the course of the in the next 2 minutes as well, a lot of things have happened. We have launched a high school summer program, which has been running for the past 3 years, called Young Tech Scholars. We have a master's level program in collaboration with UC Berkeley, which is called the Technology Leaders Fellowship. Our campus again has been in place, has been coming up in Mohali for a while, and now it'll be ready in a couple of months. And we have started our admissions process for the pioneer cohort of 2021 for undergrad programs, of which we'll talk later. Broadly, Plaksha is a collective philanthropy effort. So no one business entity owns Plaksha. There are multiple people, first generation founders, legacy businesses who've put in their money, time, and effort into building Plaksha, coming from 5 different countries and obviously spread across India as well. CXO level people from BCG, Fractal, Netflix, etc. We have people who founded Zomato, InfoEdge, Naukri, and we have some prominent PE and venture capital firms like Mayfield, Warburg, but Mayfield being one of the top in the world. Talking about the Academic Advisory Board, it is constituted of people prominent again, very, very prominent senior people like Abhijit Banerjee, who's a Nobel laureate, Anant Agarwal from MIT, Arvind Raman from Purdue, James Holloway from University of New Mexico. We have Dr. Sriram Rajmani, who's the managing director of Microsoft Research Labs India. And these people are essentially behind developing the curriculum, helping us with getting the right faculty in place, and together with the founders envisioning how and what Plaksha should be. This entire process is enhanced by our partnerships with UC Berkeley, SRI International, and Purdue University. With Berkeley and Purdue, we have institute-wide partnerships. So they're essentially helping us build a curriculum, get the faculty in place, and the like. So getting the best of the world into India for you all. Talking about 4 majors that we are launching with: computer science and artificial intelligence, robotics and cyber-physical systems, biological systems engineering, data science, business, and economics. Idea essentially, if you see from the names themselves, you can get a sense of how things flow into each other and how essentially the silos of engineering education that have traditionally existed, Plaksha kind of strays away from them and introduces these exciting majors for you all. Again, not dwelling too much here. Our campus, as I said, is coming up in Mohali. It's just 10 minutes away from Chandigarh International Airport. Is situated in the midst of a lot of different, again, prominent institutions. So the part of Chandigarh, which is essentially has ISB, PGIMR, and other prominent institutions. Application process is ongoing. So our round 1 deadline is on January 10th. I'll just leave the link if you want to check more below in the chat. I'll leave the link. The process, as many of the universities before us have mentioned, is and generally as the compass is shifting, it is holistic. We believe in looking at then taking a holistic perspective through the process for admissions. You can submit any of the test scores and also can apply through your predicted 12 scores. And the likes are there on the screen, so I'll not dwell too much and take much time. We are committed to inclusion and diversity, which essentially means that we go out of our way to make sure there are more women in tech, there is socioeconomic inclusion, and there is geographic diversity. And the aim essentially gets fulfilled by the fact that the admissions process doesn't take into account your financial, doesn't look at which financial background you come from. So essentially, once you get admitted to Plaksha, just like in case of Ashoka, if you know, we make sure that your financial constraints don't come in your way. So we have very liberal and generous aid for people coming from economically not so privileged backgrounds, and also people from middle class. So covering the entire spectrum depending on your need. And there are a few merit-based scholarships as well. Here are the details. I'll leave the links in the chat if you want to check more. Thanks, Ankur. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sovan. May I now invite our next speaker, Mr. Venkat from BITS Pilani Dubai campus.
Hi, Ankur.
Yeah.
I'm Nahid, and I'll be presenting on behalf of Venkat.
Sure, please go ahead.
I hope you're able to see me. A
Yeah,
very warm welcome to the students of IES Public School, Bhopal. It's a great privilege to be presenting before you. I am Nahid Afsha and I head the Department of Admissions at BITS Pilani, Dubai. Currently, I'm connected live from the international campus of BITS Pilani in Dubai. And I extend a very, very warm welcome to all of you. I'm going to introduce you to something which is a little different from what you have heard or seen till now. We are the only international campus of BITS Pilani and we are based out of India. So we are not in India, but we are located in a very strategic location, Dubai, which is centrally located, which is very close to India. You have multiple flights on an everyday basis. And this year, amidst this pandemic, we have been recognized as the safest international study destination. Also, we are different in terms of programs, what we offer. We deal only with engineering education. So it's Birla Institute of Technology and Science. So we do not offer anything but engineering and technology programs. So the demand for engineers and technology professionals is getting larger than before. And getting superior technical skill sets has become the need of the hour. I think this year, many of you have realized that. So students, if any of you are in 9th or 10th grade, I encourage you to take up STEM education because acquiring superior skill sets is the need of the hour. And for those students who are in grade 11 and 12, who have taken up science program, science stream, these programs are for you, the ones I'm going to talk about now. So the top reasons why you may have to consider engineering and technology education may be the following. One, it is intellectually challenging and stimulating. Two, it fosters curiosity and improves your problem-solving skills. It gives you plenty of room for innovation. In fact, this year when others were busy grappling with the COVID-19, our students were busy innovating several things. They came up with an equipment which helps sterilization. They came up with an app and won, in fact, the COVID-19 challenge for coming up with an app called QApp, which helps in controlling crowds in consumer markets. So a lot of innovations came through this year. And this helped positively contribute to society as well. It gives you a lot of flexibility to pursue interdisciplinary courses, programs, pursue multiple career paths. And last but not the least, it gives you very good career opportunities with high level of job satisfaction and excellent compensation. So these may be the top reasons for you to opt for engineering and technology education. So this is the perfect time for you all to evaluate various options available for you. Choose the right program and definitely the most recognized and reputed university. So this is a very significant decision of your life and you just can't afford to go wrong here. So this is a good opportunity for you to make informed choices. So now I'm just sharing my screen. I'll just run through what BITS Pilani Dubai campus is all about so that you could have this as one of your options when you're taking this most important decision of your life. So just to share a little bit of history, as I already mentioned, we are the branch campus of Birla Institute of Technology and Science, a 56-year-old university. And we opened in Dubai in the year 2000. So we have completed about 20 years in Dubai. We have two other campuses, one in Goa and one in Hyderabad, apart from the Pilani campus. So we are ranked #1 among private engineering universities of India in the recent rankings, which have come out in India Today, The Week, The Education World. We are also ranked internationally, top 200, among the top 200 in the QS Asia University rankings and among the top 100 in the QS BRICS University rankings. As I mentioned to you, Dubai came up in the year 2000, the Dubai campus, and we have been awarded the 5-star rating by KHDA. We have been ranked by Forbes as the best university offering technology program, and we're the largest private university around here. Now coming to Dubai as a country, why BITS Pilani chose Dubai to set up its international campus? Why? Because this is a multicultural city having over 200 nationalities. It's an international business and educational hub. And the topmost factor may be that it's a virtually crime-free city with safety and security as its priority. It's a strategic base for top global companies. We follow very high quality standard of living and have excellent state-of-the-art infrastructure. And it could be a perfect launch pad for a successful career for you. And this year, we have successfully contained the spread of COVID-19 also with highest testing per capita, superior healthcare, etc. Coming to BITS Pilani, we offer a world-class curriculum, which is exactly identical to the curriculum in India. So if any of you are still interested in BITS Pilani, you could apply to BITS Pilani. And if in case you do not get admission there in India, then you could think of taking admission in Dubai as well. We follow the same curriculum, the same teaching methodology, the examinations, evaluations, and finally, the degree is exactly identical, which is awarded is exactly identical across our 4 campuses. And the faculty, you can get to see our faculty profile on our website. Most of them are doctoral degree holders from leading universities with an average experience of over 15 years. So you could see their publications, their research interests. All this information is available on our website. We give a lot of emphasis on all-round development, offer excellent placement support. Industry internship is offered within the 4 years. This is one of the unique features of BITS Pilani, which you will not find in any other university, where 7.5 months of industry internship is included. And BITS Pilani has a collaboration with over 400 companies to offer this internship to you all. We offer effective online learning. This year, we had a blended learning pattern where we had some students on campus and some took it online. And we have over 100 students from India every year who take admission in the Dubai campus. These are the programs we have on offer for 2020-21. BE in biotechnology, chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer science, electronics and communication, electrical and electronics, and mechanical engineering. So this is the program structure, and these are some of the companies with whom we have a collaboration. So students have an option to take various elective courses also, maybe in artificial intelligence, data sciences, whatever interests you, you can go ahead and take. There's an option of taking over 15 electives throughout your program. This is an off-campus thesis which students go for in the final year if they are so interested instead of the practice school. Coming to placements, we offer excellent placements to our students, a placement division which takes care of placements exclusively. And our average annual salary stands at 72,000 dirhams per annum, which is about 15 lakh rupees approximately. And the highest has gone up to 48 lakh Indian rupees. So we have several multinationals who come to recruit from us. It has become a favorite recruiting ground for several multinationals. And so we have a strong network of about 5,000 plus alumni placed in 1,000 plus leading companies, be it L&T, Bosch. I think we've scanned a few logos for you all to see. Atkins, KPMG, L&T, Honeywell, Google. And one question which I get from many of the students is, are the placements only in Dubai? No, it's not. If it's a multinational which is coming to recruit you here, they can place you in just any country. For example, L&T has posted our students in their Korea office. They have recruited our students for their Oman office. So Oman factory. So you can be placed just anywhere around the world. So your options are global. And every year, more than 30% of our graduates pursue higher studies from reputed universities across USA, Europe, Australia, Canada, and so on. And these are some of the universities where you will find our students studying, like Carnegie Mellon, University of Cambridge, Penn State, Harvard, MIT Sloan. All these are some of Stanford. So many of our students apply to 3 to 4 universities and end up getting admissions from most of them. So the entrepreneurship spirit is also inculcated at BITS Pilani. We have a creative lab and more than 20 startups to our credit. Am I running out of time, Ankur?
Yeah, Navida.
All right. So our admissions are based only on the grade 12 marks. There is no separate entrance test, and we offer, we take CBSE students with physics, chemistry, and mathematics for all the programs. All right. Our admission details are available. Tuition fee admission details are available on our website. So you can follow us on our social media handles, and you can see our website address and email ID is displayed here. Please do feel free to log into our details. Thank you very much for your time and all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Navida. May I now invite Professor Giridhar from Manipal University, please, to his presentation.
Very good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for being a part of this interaction session. First of all, thank you to team OP Jindal Global University for facilitating this interaction, as well as the principal, faculty, school, students, parents of IES Public School Bhopal for taking a time out to be with us for this late evening session. Dear students, Going forward, in a couple of days, you will be starting to think about your career. You will have hundreds of careers options, like you can be a doctor, lawyer, manager, event manager, musician, and so on. But how do you really make a career choice when you really don't know what to do? Please remember, there are different types of careers for different types of skill sets needed. So first and foremost, you need to understand yourself first. What are your interests? What excites you? What energizes you? What are the value systems with which you have been brought up at home and that has been imbibed in school. So make a short career choice list. Take your time to think about it, read about it, discuss more about it with the people who matter. Keep a note track of the eligibility requirements when you apply to different institutes or universities, and also the growth opportunity that exists in that particular domain. Please remember, a career can be satisfying and rewarding if a right choice is made, so that most importantly, you have to choose the work you love so that you don't have to work for your entire life. Now, what are the options you will have after your 12th standard? Let me introduce Manipal here. Manipal's journey in education began way back in 1953 with the establishment of Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, followed by Kasturba Medical College, Bangalore in 55, and Manipal Institute of Technology in 1957. And thus began the journey from the 1950s onwards. Today, under the Manipal umbrella, we have 33 institutions, a school, 30 disciplines, over 350 programs, over 12 program levels. Our university, Mahe Manipal, was established in 1993 as a deemed to be university. We celebrated our silver jubilee in 2018, and we are currently the institution of eminence. Now, we are divided into three faculty domains: Faculty of Health Science, Faculty of Science, Technology and Management, and Faculty of Humanities, Liberal Arts and Social Sciences. For the immediate future, you will be interested in the MBBS program, the BDS program, the BPharm and the PharmD programs, the allied health programs, the BSc Nursing, as well as the BSc Biotechnology program. Under the Science, Technology and Management, you can look at the BTech program, BArch, BDesign, BBA, BCom, Bachelor of Hotel Management, BA Culinary Arts, and a unique international transfer program offered by ICAS Manipal. Under the Humanities, Liberal Arts, Social Sciences stream, you can look at BA Media and Communication, BSc Animation, BA Humanities, BA Foreign Languages, and Srishti Manipal Institute, which offers a lot of the vocational, the fine arts programs and at Bangalore. Now, if you're coming from the arts and the commerce stream, then you can look at some of the allied health programs. You can look at the BBA program, the BCom specializations, then a unique 5-year integrated program in management, in addition to BDes Interior Design, BDes Fashion Design, as I mentioned, the Bachelor of Hotel Management, BA Culinary Arts, the Srishti Manipal Institute offering the design, vocational, as well as the fine art programs. If you're coming with the physics, chemistry, and the biology streams, you can look at the MBBS, BDS, BPharm, and the PharmD programs, in addition to BSc Biotechnology, as well as the BSc Nursing programs, in addition to whatever you have just mentioned. If you're coming with a physics, chemistry, and a maths combination, you can look at, in addition to others, the BTech program, the BArch program, the BPharm, PharmD, as well as the design programs. Please remember that we have a whole lot of programs that we have to offer, and you just have to understand your interest, and based on that, we will be able to help you out with the course. Remember, whichever institute, whichever university you choose, please understand the content of the course, the core programs being offered, the electives, the relevance of the programs that are part of the course curriculum, the competency of the faculty, and their specializations, which will really help you understand whether they will be able to help you in the diverse interest which you are so interested to pursue. The teaching learning process, the delivery mechanisms, the opportunities on the campus, the facilities as well. So support systems play a very important part in the success of a student on a campus. The hostel environment, how calm, how neat, how clean it is, the mentoring and the counseling support, the networking opportunities via the student club, startup culture, fest, and so on, as well as the ultimate opportunities which you normally look for in terms of placements, internship, as well as the alumni interactions. Making a choice will always be easy if you focus on the particular parameters like reputation, admission process, fees, scholarships, and so on. But you now need to look at the next level in terms of experiential learning, which is nothing but learning outside of the classroom. This will help you get in touch with groups of like-minded students focusing on a particular problem. It will increase the engagement levels. The feedback is instantaneous, that accelerates the learning. But most importantly, you will be improving your soft skills. In other words, the employability skills, which the industry is so desperately looking for. Remember, our entire effort is to be a lifelong learner, and most importantly, we must be a problem solver. MIT's the experience in terms of the experiential learning projects. We started in 2007 with the Simple Formula Manipal project, wherein students designed a formula car from scratch with their own efforts. And today, in 13 years, we have over 21 experiential learning projects. The members of the team are not only from within the department, across the department, under the institution, as well as across the disciplines under the university, truly making it a multidisciplinary teams. Welcome to Manipal Academy of Higher Education. Why Manipal? A lot of things which you can feel on the campus. In terms of ranking, we're very well ranked in most of the ranking agencies. In fact, many of our institutions are very well ranked in their various domains, may it be medicine, dental, pharmacy, public health, engineering, architecture, design, hotel management, and communication. In short, Manipal is home to top ranked institution. Internationally through, whether it is QS World Ranking or whether it is Times Higher Education Asia, we are very well ranked on the various parameters of measurement. Admission process is very simple. All admissions are on the basis of merit. There are only two categories, general category as well as foreign bar NRI. Remember, we do not have any management quota. You can refer to our webpage for manipal.edu/eligibility for the eligibility requirements and admission process of all the programs that are being offered under MAHE. Scholarships are in plenty. Please visit the webpage manipal.edu/scholarships to understand not only the quantum but the diverse nature of scholarships that we have to offer. The new additions to the Manipal family are the Srishti Manipal Institute of Art, Design and Technology, as well as the Manipal Tata Medical College at Jamshedpur. These are some of the important links. You can visit our page manipal.edu/programs for the full list of programs that we are offering for the 2021 admissions. Applications are live, so you may go to manipal.edu/apply to start your applications online. All our students are, in fact, the student clubs are very much active on social media. So please spend some time in following the Destination Manipal YouTube channel, as well as the Instagram handles of all the Manipal students regarding their activities. Thank you very much for being a part of this session. Any queries, please drop a mail to admissions@manipal.edu and we will be glad to help you out. Thank you. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Professor Giridhar, for that wonderful presentation. May I now invite our final speaker of the day, Prateek from Atria University, please.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah.
Perfect. Just a second. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. I'm from Bangalore. So Atria University is based out of Bangalore. So going ahead, Atria University is a liberal sciences university. It is basically when STEM meets liberal art. So the whole focus is on interdisciplinary learning and interconnected competencies. So we are achieving this truly by having our first year foundational. So if you see any ecosystem of a company, it can be either a service or a product or based company. So there is first, obviously, there's a business requirement. Now understanding that is research on, based on that is design, and based on that is implementation. So here there are no prerequisites, irrespective of what background you are. You can switch. That is, if you're 11th and 12th, say for example, you are in arts background, you still can choose BTech, provided there are some bridging courses and classes that you need to take. But that flexibility now is available at Atria University. The first year is a foundational course. So how it goes is basically the first year is Explore, a foundational course of 12 months. Then you go for a 3-month internship, and then again come back and do 3 months of courses. Shortlist your specialization. In the 19th month, that is basically at the end of 18 months, you will tell me which degree and which major or specialization you are interested in. And based on that is your 3rd year and your 4th year, which is an experience and deep dive phase. Right. So if you are a business oriented person, if you find out, basically, if you find you're fit to be in that, you will choose a BBA. If you're research oriented, BSc. If you're design oriented, B.Dev, implementation oriented, B.Tech. Now going to our specializations, we call them futuristic majors because these are the jobs that are going to be in demand by 2025, 2026, which is when you are going to be hunting for your jobs. Quickly, I'll dive into the first one. Interactive technology has to do with virtual reality, augmented reality, UI, UX, animation, VFX, and web design technologies. Now, all the 4 degrees are possible in interactive technologies. So interactive technology is basically you will study everything that the way how a human interacts with a computer or basically AI. Going to the next one, digital transformation. Again, all the 4 degrees are possible in digital transformation. Here you are going to do artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, robotics, industrial automation, IoTs, and so on. Just to give you an example here, a BBA in digital transformation would be because a marketer also today has to use a lot of predictive analysis, business analytics, and so on. You know, like that is what Instagram and everything they are doing, right, to keep your attention span on the screen. So a lot of data science is used even by marketers today. So it is not like you can await technology. That is something that is here to stay, and irrespective of any degree, you need to learn the same. Going to the next one, mobility. Again, all the 4 degrees you can do in mobility. On mobility, the main concentration is drone technology because drone technology is truly revolutionizing the transport industry. Here, so something like Japan, they have already they have tested flying taxis, right? And they have said that in the next couple of years, it will also get cheaper and people can actually use it for transportation, right? Electric vehicles obviously have already hit the Indian market. So many cities already have government buses, which are currently electric ones. Then you are going to do unmanned aerial system, mass transportation, aerodynamics, and so on. Coming to the next one, energy sciences. This is the most underrated major. People have not yet realized how much potential this particular specialization has. Fossil fuels are going to get depleted soon, and for already we are seeing a huge rise in the price of fossil fuels. India itself is generating close to 70% using thermal, which is our electricity. 70% of our electricity comes from by burning fossil fuels. So that's a huge area. So when there is a need and when fossil fuels are not there, we'll be forced to move to this area. So people choosing this particular major where they do thermal, solar, photovoltaics, wind turbine, nuclear energy, wave energy. These are absolutely upcoming careers in the next about 2 to 3 years. The last major which is a specialization is life sciences. Here you are going to do biotechnology, neuroscience, regenerative medicines, and microbiology. Coming to how to answer the question, very eminent question, which is how an art student can take a BTech or a commerce student can take a BTech and all vice versa, is there are number one, project-based appraisals and sprint-style learning. Sprint-style learning is in one semester. Traditionally, you will do 7 subjects in one semester. Here, you pick one subject, do it for 2 weeks. Then there is a compulsory workshop daily. And at the end, there is a project-based appraisal, which means whatever knowledge you have earned, you will apply that knowledge in a project. And only then you will progress or pass basically to the next module. So it is truly project-based. There is no written exam as of such, right? And that is how this is going to progress. Quickly going to the next one. This is courses, workshops, then there is project. This is the 3 ways you study. Answering the question how an art student gets to study is in the first year, you have got modules on foundation of technology, application of science. Here you will only learn what is exactly required for the particular course, right? That is how you will be studying. Every day there is a guest, either there is a guest lecture or a workshop on problem solving, critical thinking, teamwork, sense, and this is for every module. So that is how you perfect. And then comes your project. Coming to your building a portfolio, since each module has a project, at the end of 4 years, you will have a portfolio which will have 9 months of internship and 30 real life, industry-driven project at the end of 4 years. Next, now that you have work portfolio, now let us see how your placements take place. Accelerator was a startup a couple of years back with the Atria Group. Now it has gone to an organization where we have 1,000 organizations under us, tie-ups with Indian and international, already placed about 10,000 students, and that is where your placements will happen, mentorship, and your industry project will happen. This is a prestigious academic council from all across the globe who have made it possible to offer this curriculum in India. This is the team which will be, there is a good balance of obviously visiting faculty as well as full-time faculty. Visiting faculty because as our curriculum and teaching methodologies go, we require people not to teach you from the books, but actually from the experience, because even your exams are experience oriented. We truly believe that knowledge is not power anymore. It is the application of knowledge which is power, because knowledge, a 10-year-old can sit on Google and get all the knowledge he wants. Next is academic partners. This is how our labs will be created. So we are in tie-up with these 4. Till last month we were 3. Now HoloSuits robotics company has joined us, who is helping us set up high-tech lab so that this kind of research is possible in India. This is the last slide, which is the admission process. We have also changed the admission process. Since your prerequisite does not matter, all is required is 12th standard. You have to finish your 12th standard, which is a UGC mandate. Apart from that, there is no prerequisites of any entrance exam or any background. Online application and student engagement to tell you how we test is we see your thought process of the same. Just like many companies like Google and Amazon today are doing their interviews. The same thing which we'll be doing here, where you're more than your marks and your thought process, critical thinking, and all these qualities will be tested. Talking about fees, a fee structure is 7 lakh per annum and a residential fee of 1.8 if you're not from Bangalore. There are need-based scholarship for those who cannot afford the same. So as I said, there are 4 degrees and 5 majors. For more information, you will have to get in touch with me. I'll also leave my details in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ankur.
Thank you so much, Pratik. With this, we come to the end of university presentations. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to my colleagues for adhering to timelines and presenting to the students of IES. May I now invite some questions? I see that there are a lot of questions that have been answered in the Q&A section, but if there is anything that is still unanswered, students, please, you can use the chat section or use the raise hand option, and we can come to you directly. Also live, as I had informed earlier. Otherwise, any of my university colleagues, you have something to add from your presentation, something that you probably missed, you want to add, probably time is now. You can do that. If not, I will, in the meanwhile, hand it over to the school authorities. If Shreya or Manisha ji, you would like to take it from here. And if you have any questions for us, my colleagues are here and they will be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much. That was a very, very informative session, and I'm sure we really gained. But since we are running out of time, I think students had asked in the chat box, and plus all the university faculties, they've all provided their details. So they will take it from there, and whatever queries now get generated, like now they're into their pre-boards and their exams. So as they come, I'm sure they'll contact all of you and have their queries clarified. So thank you so much to all the coordinators and heads of all the universities who have joined, and thank you so much to Mr. Ankur Vora. That was a wonderful session, very, very informative and very beneficial, and I'm sure our students have really benefited.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for inviting us. I would also like to say a thank you to all the university representatives present here. It's them, their collaboration that makes this possible for us, and we can reach out to schools in India and abroad as well. Also, not to forget my colleague Vishal, who coordinates this event seamlessly throughout the whole activity. So thank you so much, everyone. That's it from me for today, and my gratitude to all of you. Have a nice evening. Go ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.